On Into the Mindset, we know a healthy body starts with a healthy environment. But mold, excess moisture, and foundation settling in your crawl space can silently harm your lungs and your home. Squeaky floors and cracking walls, that's a red flag. Advanced Crawl Space Solutions offers encapsulations that can boost energy savings by up to 20%. Plus, vapor barriers and rot repair to protect your air, your home, and your health. A healthy crawl space means a healthier you. Click the link below to get a free quote today. And don't forget to type in Into the Mindset to get 5% off. On Into the Mindset, we are all about protecting what matters most. And that includes your safety and your time. Fall is just around the corner, and with it comes leaves, clogged gutters, and dangerous ladder climbs. Freedom Gutter Covers gives you a lifetime no-clog guarantee, so you'll never have to risk a fall or clean your gutters again. Let us install your covers today so you can focus less on chores and more on faith, family, and freedom to be a healthier you. Click the link below to get a free quote today. And don't forget, type in Into the Mindset to get 5% off. Welcome to Limitless Living Into the Mindset, the podcast that dives into the heart of growth, grit, and what it really means to keep moving forward. Let's get into it. You have been really busy the last few weeks. Your body has probably taken a beating, taken a toll. Going into a 100-miler. And then how many weeks did you have off between the 100-miler and your Ironman?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
That was over the weekend in Madison.
So we'll get into kind of how that went, but let's just go straight into the ultra and your 100-miler and talk about that. This particular one was a loop course, correct?
Yep.
So you had... is a 10-mile loop.
Mm-hmm.
So a 10-mile loop, and you had to do it within a certain amount of time to qualify for the next round, right? Is that kind of how it
Yeah, in any ultra, even some marathons, in a lot of events like that, you'll have a time frame to do it. You had, I'll just get to it. It pains me. We had it's 100-mile race. You got 10-mile loops. The ultimate result is I was on the round of 80. I'd completed 70, was on the round of 80, and it was too late in the race for me to start. So I was time capped right there. That's cut and dry. That's the end result. Now I had completed a 100K. Under any other circumstances, I wouldn't have just went out and done 100K. I'd rather do the full 100-miler. But that's what the end result was. So.
Yeah. Well, I think, I had talked to you the following day afterwards kind of about it. We had talked a little bit about it on the first episode with you. To me, there's kind of multiple levels to the race itself. But the most important thing is, there's three letters. We have the DNR and then we have DNF. I would take a DNF over a DNR any day of the week. If I do not run, then that's a problem. I want to always be able to get out there and be able to run and be able to compete and be able to do that. But if I enter into a race and something happens where I did not finish, then I'm going to be way more acceptable of that than not starting the race at all. So the fact that you went out there and you put in, what was it exactly? Was it 70 or was it like 70? Yeah, I think you said like 73 or something like that, or
I'm on the round of 80, and it didn't matter at that point because you don't get to finish. You just, you're done. I guess I could have.
But I'll ask you this: how many people do you know of that's done that?
I don't know a lot, and I appreciate exactly where you're going.
Yeah.
I'll first get off and say that there are so many bigger things to be upset and heartbroken over and what have you. So anybody that would hear me whine would say, listen, there's people who have legit tragedy.
Yeah.
That said, I'm heartbroken. I am absolutely heartbroken. I had every intention of that. When I finished, I'm talking with Melissa. I think Melissa Sharp, she's the race director, and she's picking me up. And I felt great. I'm considering. I'm just beat up, but I felt great.
Yeah.
There was no part of me that thought I can't do this. There was I enjoyed, honestly, I enjoyed the whole thing. It was hard, but I enjoyed it. she said there were 32 that started out on the 100-miler, and there were several races, 100-miler, 100K, 50K, all the way down to 5K. Everybody started on that. 32 that started out on the 100-miler. She said 60% of them either pulled out, they quit, or they were medically discharged.
Yeah.
There were 4 that finished the 32. I wish there were 5, and I wish I mean that with every fiber in me. It is painful. And I'll tell you how, the very first thing I did, I'm not lying, that Monday, cause that Sunday we make it back and we're just kind of collecting our thoughts. That Monday I got up and found another 100-miler. I have to check it off. So October 24th in Alabaster, Alabama, I'm running another 100-miler.
I think it's really difficult as a runner to explain that heartbreak, because people, when they think of heartbreak, it's, a divorce or a relationship or something like that. But when you're talking about the dedication that has to go into the training and nutrition and taking care of your body and everything that goes into it, I just brought this up with my wife the other day. I had somebody, it was on another podcast, but they'd asked the question. They said, you walk into your childhood bedroom and you see your 10-year-old self sitting there in the floor. What does your 10-year-old self say to you, and what do you say to him? And one of the things that I said to him was, go outside and run. Run as much as you can. It's going to be your first love, and it's going to be with you forever, and it's going to end up saving your life.
Yeah.
Because it did mine.
Yeah.
And when you have that much passion for something, even a sport like that, and you hit that point where to you it's the heartbreak, or dare I say the bad word of failure, it hurts. It stings a lot. It's kind of like you did kind of lose a little bit of that relationship, type thing, or there was like a type of breakup or something there. But it also shows the perseverance of a runner for you to sit there and say, I immediately 2 days later was looking for the next one because I'm going to try again. But yeah, it's very difficult for me as a runner to explain to non-runners what that heartbreak feels like. What I could say to you is I felt it earlier this year as well. I had a goal to run every single day. I have an injury that's still bugging me. I did 3 miles yesterday, and woke up today, could barely walk again on my right leg. So still bugging me, still trying to figure out what's going on. It's extremely frustrating, but I had to stop. I couldn't reach that goal that I had set for myself. And I put on a pretty good face in front of my family and friends and all that. But that walk that I had to do a mile out back to my house because I couldn't run anymore, all the emotions and anger and everything was just flowing through. So I could say that I know how you're feeling, and I get that. I know other runners feel that way, but it's just unexplainable for someone that hasn't tried running yet.
It's well said. We're grown men, and there's real world problems happening. There are. That's part of your life. That's part of my life right there.
Yeah.
I'm again ashamed especially with everything going on. I felt like crying. I did. A good friend of mine, I coach his daughter in Springfield. He called Sarah, said, hey, want to give Smith a ring. We just want to check on him. And he called and he goes, how's everything going? He's a runner as well. So I like he and you and folks that understand it. It is important to us. Running, I tell our kids, and I'll tell you, and I tell a lot of people, wrestling is a metaphor for life. It is. Running is as well. You know, you're going to have days at work, at life, or whatever. You get out and everything just goes great. You feel good. Everything's clicking on all cylinders, and then you have other days where just like that. Where I mean, that was out. You probably felt good prior to your run, and then you go out and
I don't think I would have ran if I hadn't felt great. I've been trying to be cautious with it, but I'd taken 3 weeks off. It felt fine yesterday. I didn't even go out hard. I went out, I was like, I'm going to do 3 miles, but I'm going to do it with some of our freshmen, cross country girls. So they're just kind of getting into the sport and things. So, we're a little slower pace yesterday. We talked the whole time. I actually like that you kind of brought that up. I was running with one of our girls, and she ran in, middle school, but this is her, first year as a freshman doing high school. And there's a big gap between, you go from 1.5 miles to 3 miles,
Sure.
and you're going from maybe 4 to 5 miles max to 6 to 8 miles, training and things like that. So she's done great with it. I was telling her, I'm like, I've been so proud of you. You've been doing a great job. You just continue to grow and everything. And she asked me, she was just kind of like, how do you control your breathing, and how do you kind of get to where you kind of enjoy it and stuff? And I kind of laughed. I said, 24 years of doing it, and I'm still trying to figure out some of it. But I told her, I said, you know what? Everybody's different. You hear these things, you breathe every other step, or breathe, and things like that as far as controlling your breath. But everybody's a little bit different. Everybody finds their own. I said, if you can figure out how to take this from work and turn it into therapy, then you'll be capable of doing anything in a pair of running shoes that you want. Once it transitions from this is hard work and I have to do this, to this is therapy and I want to do it, it expands the whole world.
I think that's at the root of every step I run. I think that's at the root of that. Mm-hmm. I was talking with Sarah maybe Sunday. The bike, you're on a 112-mile bike ride. Not one single pedal did I think, I can't do this. Not one. But you're thinking about just all the different things that your mind's working, all the different things. When you look at it as therapy, and that's what it is for me. Yeah. Back in college and in high school, it was different. The motivation was different. Right now, it's therapy. I don't mind saying I don't know if I could keep it together if I didn't have something to constantly work your mind. Just grind. It hurts. It sucks. It's painful. Sarah had asked me months ago, do you ever get out there and go, golly, this is awful? Yes. When I run a 5K, I run a 5K way harder than I run anything else, and that's my least favorite race. I'm a quarter of a mile in, I'm 400 meters in, and I'm going, this is awful. Freaking, why did I do this? Mm-hmm. But that's part of it.
Yeah.
It's therapy.
Usually in those moments when I have a little bit of that, of why do I do this, or this hurts or whatever, it's usually when I actually smile when I run. It's almost like I'm excited about it. Like I can feel, again. That's because we get so callous sometimes with, especially now. I mean, everything going on in the world, you're just kind of like, oh, it's just another day in the world. And so getting out there and actually feeling a little bit, even if it's physical, is like, oh, all right, this is something that I get to do that not a lot of people are doing. Yeah. And I really enjoy this. That's
interesting. Maybe I didn't understand how you're saying it or what. I smile. I make myself smile. I hate my smile, but I do smile because I think it changes it reminds me, embrace this. You probably don't know Emma Carey. She was the fittest teen on earth. I work out, well, I don't anymore. She and her family, she graduated high school. Her family moved to Florida where they could find a better CrossFit gym or something more appropriately fitting her. But I think she was 16. She was the fittest teen on earth. And at 17, she is defending her title and bumped up to the open division. So she's competing in CrossFit. We're jumping rope one time in a competition, and she goes, hey, which if she's talking, listen to her. She's a smart kid. She said, I think your jump rope would go up, your double unders would go a lot easier if you'd smile. Relax your face and smile while you're doing it. And coming from Emma, she's the sweetest human being you've ever met. Thought, that's great advice. I do catch myself when I'm in a grind, when I'm just in a grind. relax my face.
Yeah.
Just try and smile. When you put a smile on, it changes your mind.
Yeah. We had a moment a few weeks ago. It's hot out. These kids they're doing a track workout. It was brutal. Of course, we're keeping an eye on everybody and stuff, but we knew it was going to be a tough day, and it was one of those workouts that was kind of set there on purpose. Who's going to push and who's going to overcome and who's going to motivate and those things, who's going to be our leaders on days like this and stuff like that. So the kids are doing a tough workout, and I see one of our girls go through. She's a freshman. She's been a stud runner for many years now, coming up through middle school, but I see her come through on one of her sprints, and I just looked, and I mean, she's just grinning ear to ear. I'm like, I know she's hurting. I know that it's not that easy to her, but she's just grinning ear to ear. And her and her friend came up to me yesterday, and they're like, hey, if we got in a fist fight, which one do you think would win? Joking around. I said, to this girl's friend, I went, you're pretty feisty, and I think you put up a good fight, but I watched her smiling through some pretty tough workout the other day, so I think she could definitely take a few hits and still keep getting back up. So it's like, she'd give you a fight. So, and I remember this with Rogers. I think it was just the way he would breathe, Coach Rogers, but, every picture that, and if you see the cross-country pictures, this. If you ever seen a cross-country, usually we look like we're half dead, or any runner, really. But Rogers would always come through, and the camera would go, and he would like have a grin on his face. And I think it was just the way he would breathe, but we just always kind of like, at the time, made fun of him. But now I kind of look up to it, like, he was just gritting through the pain.
That's right. I would disagree. I think that's 100% him. There is nobody on earth like him, and that's my guy. I love Nathan. I love Coach Rogers. Like him or not, he is who he is. And,
100%. Mm-hmm.
He'll always smile. I won't even get in. If he listens to this, I won't even get into the 75 hard story. I'm not going to. I'm not going to get off.
You better not.
Yeah. But that's typical him. I guarantee you that was on purpose. No matter how much he's suffering, he's going to pull it together and smile.
Anytime I see a runner that's smiling through the pain, I know they're going to be pretty awesome. So seeing this young freshman kind of grinning her teeth, I'm like, all right, we've kind of thought we always had something here, but we definitely got something here. So this is going to be exciting.
I hate my smile. I really do. I am a face built for radio, I'm telling you. But one thing, when I ran Boston, my wife said, I've never seen you smile so much. I've never seen every picture you are loving it. And I mean it, I was. It's hard to hide that. I'm so thankful for that, because all the pictures I have from that, I can't paint a picture of how wonderful that whole race was. But I loved every step of it, and I was glad that you can see that actually in pictures from it.
So I want to get in a little bit to the kind of the nitty-gritty of the race itself. So you're in the middle of the race. You do your 10-mile lap, and then I assume you have a little bit of time before you could go into the next loop. So during that time, what are we doing? What are we eating? How are we resting? What was the temp? It was over 100 that day, wasn't it?
Yes. There's a lot of nuances that went into it. I'm glad you asked that. The first thing I'll say is, in the future, let me back up. The whole problem where I got timed out is my pride, my arrogance, my stupidity. It's all that. I should have done my homework. My good friend, Lisa Schiller, I ran with her a couple weeks before that, and she was talking about, be careful in transitions. That'll creep up on you. You're not going to realize you're taking so much time, but on 10 loops, that adds up. So it was 10-mile loops. You go out. What my original plan was, I'll run my 10, I'll come in, I'll change, powder up, do everything I need to. I'll eat something, especially starting as early as we did. It was start at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
there's not going to be any aid stations or anything at that time. So I did that, ran the first 10. And it was funny. There were 32 of us that were starting for the first maybe 400 meters. Another girl and I were just kind of pulling away from everybody else. And I kind of made a joke. You know how it is when you're running those packs, everybody's kind of doing the same thing, and the atmosphere is laid back. I said, guys, I just want everybody to know I am really proud that I, at least at one point in this race, am in first place. And everybody kind of laughed. Well, she and I get to talking. You know how it is. We just flew. And I didn't mean to. You know how it is in every race. You do that first mile or two, in this case, 10 miles. You don't mean to. We were way ahead. Did that first 10 miles. We went all the way to the turnaround, which was 5 miles out, and then came back. I think we came in like an hour and 40. That is way too fast to go on a 100 miler. But I mean, we were cooking, and I wasn't even breathing hard. I'm watching my pulse. I think my pulse got to like 127, which that's ridiculous on moving like that. So I came in at the 10. I did everything. I changed, powdered. I felt great. Ate, got back on the run. I probably spent 7 minutes at that transition or that turn. Went right back out and got at it. And that was around 2.5 hours at that point. I think maybe after 30, it was either after 20 or maybe after 30. Every single time I came in, I got an ice bath because it was it was over 114 on the heat index. Yeah. So I just thought it was important to, just ice down, get right back out. Did it every single time. A lot of my high school kids came up and saw me after 40 or 50, I don't know. And then Randy and Carrie, the Roarks, came up. Randy said, I didn't know what to say. An ice bath is painful, just to see it. Yeah. So did that every single time. And just I think maybe at 60, I went in and attempted to lay down a little bit. Couldn't sleep. Went right back out. I'm getting it all mixed up, but I took a break at that point. I think in hindsight, the people that finished, that were able to get the full 100 in, ran like the first 40 miles, and then they actually went and took like a legitimate nap during the heat of the day. They come back out at kind of dusk, and then ran another 40, 50, 60, whatever. That's what I should have done. I'm going to hire a coach.
So what, we kind of talked a little bit about it on the first episode about what to eat and things like that. So what did you end up eating as when you were taking your breaks and trying to get some food?
Again, this is my ignorance. I don't think I was wrong there. The typical stuff that you would ordinarily have, banana, peanut butter. You suggested that. And I think that that helped. I did hit, it was early in the morning still, maybe I'd done 20 miles, and Sarah had gotten some, because I had mentioned before, breakfast burritos or whatever. She got those from McDonald's. They were a godsend. I'm telling you, I can still taste how good those were then. But you eat so much sweet stuff like gels and chews and things like that. You're just craving anything salty.
Right. So, yeah. Well, and I think, you're sweating, especially in 100+ degree weather and stuff. So you're wanting to replenish those electrolytes, that salt and everything through the body.
Sodium, magnesium, potassium.
Yeah. So that, that's what you're wanting to get. And that's kind of, McDonald's really wasn't what I had in mind whenever I mentioned the breakfast burrito things, but I had heard before that that's what, some of the people that I know that have done ultras and things, that's usually one of their go-tos, just because you can get carbs, you can get protein out of them, you get some of that, salt out of it. So it's just kind of one of their go-tos. So yeah, I was just kind of curious, did you have any, because we had talked about it, did you have any stomach discomfort or anything with that, or everything go pretty well? Because I like the gels, that's what ruins me. Anytime I do the gels, I'm usually have some type of stomach discomfort and stuff. So I'm not a big component of those.
I had mentioned before, I've been really reluctant to ever try any more gels. I did this past weekend. They were different. I didn't even know the brand. I would identify them if I saw them. Where I was at that, it didn't matter. I just needed calories, so it didn't matter. This last weekend with the white or the black gel, they were different than those. In any event, those old pink, yellow, green, the little pouches, you can get them at Fleet Feet, and I see them giving them out that goo. That stuff wrecks me. So I've been reluctant to try that.
Probably not going to get them as a sponsor anytime soon. So
the stuff I had this past weekend, it was amazing. I was braced for all kinds of stomach issues. I didn't care. I just had to get through it. I was talking with Becca Lazo. I coached wrestling with her for a long time, coached her sons. Her husband and I inadvertently were competing against each other in Taji 100 a couple of years ago, or last year. She was telling me, because Matt Lazo, her son, was running 100 milers, 50 milers, a lot of legit ultras, and her husband. And she said in those, they're just looking for calories. Cheeseburgers, this, that. And I thought, there's no way that you got to be eating a certain way. You have to. When I did the 50 up in Madison 2 or 3 years ago, that was one thing I saw, just that. They were giving out, they had people with grills cooking cheeseburgers and hot dogs and giving out chips. It seems so contradictory, but you're trying to you're just burning, rack up calories. Yeah. And those are quick calories. So, that's where the whole McDonald's, that's certainly in this forum would be a cuss word, but I get it. Why?
Well, my mom always said, after being sick or something like that, if your body's craving it, then it's okay. So if you're craving, McDonald's and something, and you've put your body through that. Now, let me reiterate that doesn't mean on any normal day, if you're craving something, that it's okay to eat it. What I mean is, if you've had stomach flu, or if your body's been through something and you haven't really been eating something and you have that craving, then it's like, go ahead and eat that craving. Your body's telling you it needs something. So for you in that moment, your body was telling you, hey, we probably need something salty here. So what do you want?
I 100% agree with you. You're lean, and I would say if your body's telling you I need eggs or pickles, that's something. The more you get into running, you get into fitness, you get into whatever, the more in tune you get, the more you listen, your body will tell you exactly what you need. I'm no beacon for fitness, but I do listen. I work out religiously. I can feel when I've eaten bad, and I've really been big on be very disciplined for 5 days. I think if you're way out, you just eating crap all day and you're not working out at all, which is easy to do. That was me 6 or 7 years ago, after college. And when I'm married, I don't care. I'm just living life and enjoy it. I'll eat all the cake and whatever I want and do whatever. That's a lot of people. They're caught up in life or whatever. When you start changing that, you start listening, your body will tell you everything you need to know. I tell people, if you're no discipline whatsoever, but you want to just start creating patterns. Go 5 days a week and eat healthy. And it doesn't have to be crazy. Just create some kind of pattern. I'm going to eat 3 square meals. I'm not eating in between, whatever it is. Yeah. I'm really big on paleo. I'm anti gimmicks where do this, do that. Paleo just makes sense to me. I mean, cut out all the man-made stuff. I just make it black and white. Yeah. Steak, things if you can't grow it, kill it, gather it, don't eat it. Right. That's it.
Yeah. And that's whenever I have either runners that I've been training or clients or anything like that, or even some student athletes that, coach, what should I be eating? Or if I have a client that's, I'm running, but I need to lose weight. What should I eat to lose weight? It's usually the same across the board. And I usually tell them, start off like what you said. If you want to start off with routine first. So I'm going to eat 5 meals a day, 3 main meals, and then 2 snacks a day. Okay. I'm going to do that. I'm going to make sure that they're healthy meals. Okay. Well, what's a healthy meal, coach? We could complicate it and we could get into all the nitty gritty of it all and all that stuff, but I'm going to stay in my lane. I can coach you how to run. but I'm not going to coach you nutrition. The only thing I can tell you is that one of the longest proving diets that we have is the Mediterranean diet. And if you could stick to something like that, for the most part, you're going to be eating pretty healthy. And anytime I get any type of push, I'm like, just go look. Type in blue zones, and where are all the blue zones at? The majority of the blue zones. I said, in countries where they're mainly eating a Mediterranean type diet. I said, so that's usually the one that I kind of recommend to people, but I always preface it with, I'm not a nutritionist. All I do is teach you how to run. But I was just talking to a parent, her son's in college, kind of figuring out what direction he wants to go. Or he's getting ready to go to college, trying to figure out what direction he wants to go. He's really into weightlifting. He's really into his diet and taking care of himself and all that stuff. So he's kind of looking in that. I told her, I said, nutritionists are a hot commodity right now. So, you know, if he enjoys that, that might be something he goes down. But I'm very big in, if you are a trainer, you know, if you train weightlifting or running or CrossFit or whatever it is, you know, stay in your lane, because there's a lot of times we can start to breach that. And I start to tell you what I eat and my nutrition, but you know, I'm running 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 miles a day.
Sure.
Whereas if I tell a weightlifter that, who's hardly running, if running at all, it's not going to work for them as well as it works for me. I need higher carb and more protein and things like that, where they might not need as much carbohydrates as I do, or, you know, things like that. So I'm just, I always try to preface it with, hey, this is what I do, but I'm not a nutritionist. So do your research or talk to an actual nutritionist or something like that, but they can kind of help you with that realm. Or I refer them to somebody else. I had a student who I was working with them with their running form and things like that, but he wasn't so much a distance runner. He's more of a weightlifter and things like that. And he was like, hey, I know we're working on my running form and stuff, but you know, I need to kind of bulk up more. I need to know, like, what should I be eating? What should I be doing? I said, you know what? You should probably reach out to Tim Cole. He's going to have a better idea of that stuff than I'm going to, because that's his world. That's right. I said, I could work on your running form. I could get you where you're more streamlined. You're running better. You're on your toes more. You're taking pressure off your knees. You're breathing better and all that stuff. But that's more his world. So maybe go talk to him. Maybe chat with him. So yeah, that's kind of where I am with the nutrition side. But yeah, I mean, it's just different for everybody. And I'm glad you kind of found we kind of went off the rails there, but I'm glad you kind of found your space where you like to be with your race and everything.
I get kids ask a lot of times, our sport, it's very relevant in wrestling. Mm-hmm. Again, here I circle back to, I always end up getting back to wrestling, but in our sport, we get a lot of kids go, Coach, I want to lose weight, or I want to do this, or want to do, and sometimes they've got a point and sometimes they don't. We have a freshman that was at preseason a couple weeks ago, and she goes, Coach, I really want to get down. Well, I mean, right now, I think you're right where you should be. And I do. I think she's right where she ought to be. But I said, if that's important to you, the first thing I would ask is, how much water are you drinking? Are you drinking water? I do drink water. I had a glass before we come in and do that. No. Now, you probably can't drink a gallon a day. Me talking to her, you probably can't drink a gallon a day. Maybe you can. She goes, well, I got this cool new 32 ounce deal or what. Start with that. Make that your goal. Drink that no matter what. Are you drinking pop? Well, once in a while I have a Coke. Cut that out altogether. You do those two things, and then just put yourself on 3 meals a day or something. But the water and the pop would be the first thing I would recommend. I agree with you. Stay in your lane. And if it ever comes to where we're in a weird situation where somebody maybe has to be finicky with where they're at, maybe in one of the middles or the lights, I would recommend, I steer away from getting into those, really manipulating a person's diet. That's not my expertise.
Yeah. It's hard for a runner to do that, because I remember my coach in high school, I'm asking all these questions. How do I become better? And these were high school questions, me not really knowing things, but on a shorter runs, should I wear a weighted vest to make me feel, or should I do this? What should I be eating? And he was like, hey, this sport's hard enough. Just go run.
Love it.
And just eat. You're in high school. You're a 15, 16-year-old kid. Like, just eat and just run. When you want to eat. When you run, just run. And so I try to use that as much as I can as well. Like, yeah, we want to try to take care of ourselves, but at the end of the day, with the kids, with the students, it's like, hey, sometimes we just got to run. Sometimes we're overthinking this.
Yeah.
Same thing with wrestling, with this particular girl that you're talking about, at the end of the day, it's like, hey, sis, we just need you to wrestle.
Right. With my team, I try to be just crystal clear, black and white. What are the things I need to be? Well, I need to go to this camp, do this, do that, do that. You can do all those things, but for you to be successful in our program, I want you to create habits today. Mm-hmm. Simple habits. I tell our kids, and this is simple, do 5 push-ups every morning. And if you're embarrassed, you don't want mom or dad to see you, go in the bathroom, knock out 5 push-ups. Get obsessed with that. Mm-hmm. Do little things, the things you can do. You can get in shape. You can go out and run a mile every single day. My wife cringes at these habits that I create, but I have to. I have to. Mm-hmm. It like running keeps my mind sane. Every single morning, this morning, yesterday, 372 days ago, I make the bed every single morning. Every morning. Create habits. It centers you for everything, and that's where, with wrestling, that's what I tell our kids.
Mm-hmm. So I want to kind of wrap this up, but I don't want to discount that a couple weeks later, you go into an Ironman. What was the mileage breakdown through that?
2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike ride, and then you finish with a marathon in the end. I don't want to go way off in the weeds in that. I could spend hours on that. You know what? I'll give you a testimony on this. I was talking with my dad this morning on this. Once again, there's so much horrible things going on in the world. For anybody else looking at this, they'll go, quit being a baby. Don't think about it. You got plenty of things to worry about. I was just so disappointed, so sad. So I legitimately mean it. I was hollow at the end of it. I don't hide my faith. I again, don't want to go off in the weeds. Prior to everything that went on with him, I would almost call myself agnostic, to where agnostic means maybe I believe, maybe I don't, prove me, whatever. And I'm open-minded. When you go through everything with Zachary, it changes you. I read the Bible cover to cover. I pray every single morning, every single night, and several times in between, every day. I want to live my life to where people, I'm the same person you've always seen, but nothing I say or do would be contradictory to that. I don't want anybody to ever look and say, this guy says he's got faith, but look at how he lives his life. Yeah. I prayed before the race, prayed several times during the events. Lord be with me. Not one second of the whole thing did I feel like I couldn't finish, like I was in trouble. It's tough. It's very hard. At the end of the day, I'm devastated. I'm heartbroken. I'm so disappointed. And again, that story, we can spend hours talking about that. So I get home or get back to the hotel that night, and I'm just emotionally horrible. Next morning, I get up because I've got a conference call every single Monday. I'm hollow. I just feel over dramatizing this, but if somebody died, that's about how I felt. I mean, I just felt disappointed. And I'm getting ready for my conference call. I get online. I'm thinking I need to find something to pick myself up. I look, and Ironman Jacksonville pops up. Ironman Jacksonville, May 18th. What makes this special is my sister lives in Jacksonville, her husband, her family. It's the inaugural race. There are so many things. I had prayed that morning, please help me with this. I feel so hollow here. This comes up. there are so many things that make this, I can't emphasize what an incredible opportunity this is. So I guess I'm off in the weeds, but it was an answered prayer. Mm-hmm. It opens September 22nd at 11:59 on September 21st. Nobody's going to see it. Nobody's going to know it. I set my alarm so I can get up. I want to be the first person registered for that. I'm not just going to try. Well, I'm not just going to finish it. Mm-hmm. I want to be competitive. I want to be on the podium. Yeah. I want to, I'm excited for it, but
I love that. No, that's so good. I mean, you're talking about going into an Ironman 2 weeks after you attempted the 100-miler. I mean, that's most people don't even try either of those things, but for you to try to do it within the same month is just awesome in itself, and really shows just your drive and your determination and everything. And I don't know, I look up to it. You come in here every time we have you in the studio, and you talk about I don't know, you just pump everybody up, and I really appreciate you for that. But I hope that I can take a second just to kind of pump you up, because I really look up to your tenacity and your drive to just continue to push. And I think that is the true spirit of a runner, but I think foundationally it's the true spirit of an athlete, and that's what you are. So going into the Ironman, again, not going how you wanted it to go, but then immediately be like, hey, I'm going into the next one. This is what's going to happen. This is what I'm going to do differently. But it's still the same person. Just like you were talking about, with your faith and everything. Maybe it wasn't there at the beginning, but once you got it, you're still you. But it's kind of like you one-upped. It's like, Mario, he got that one up, and now he's able to go do something. You're one-upping each and every time that you compete and you do this, and you continue to rise and you are above it all. And I don't know, just something that I really look up to and I really appreciate. So I'm glad that you were able to come in here, that you were able to sit down with us, kind of talk about this. I don't think this is the last time we're going to have you on the show. I always appreciate having you in here and really talking about, there's not a lot of people that are doing what you do. But there is, throughout our world, there's a lot of people that are interested, and there's a lot of people that are even thinking, I've never ran before, but maybe I want to try.
Yeah.
And listening to you and listening to your stories could be that motivation for them. So I really appreciate you for that.
Thank you very much. That means a lot. Without getting in the weeds, one thing that when you're going through something hard, you have a lot of friends that'll tell you, oh, don't do that. Back off. It's coming from a good place. They love you. They think that you're pushing yourself too hard. You, my wife, my friends that kind of get me, they're not saying that. They appreciate that. And you've been there. You've been through you're going through the same things every single day. You're wrestling with that. You get it. I appreciate you saying that and just specifically what you do. Can't wait to see Andy on here. Can't wait.
Yeah. Andy Rains is coming up next. We've already recorded his episode. We're kind of staggering things a little bit, but super excited. Swino, our production manager for everything, he was talking and he goes, there's just some people you could tell are used to speaking, in front of people or behind a microphone. And Andy just has that voice that you can listen to forever.
I can listen to him all day. I love Andy.
He's very insightful. There's times where I'm upset that I didn't meet him earlier on in life. Cause I've really only known Andy for about 3 years now. And we met at a 5K turkey trot.
People here know this much about him. He's from Farmington. He was he played college football, which you see him now and you'd think that, but I mean he's yacked up, but he's created what he is. He's done that on his own through hard work and discipline. Oh, and by the way, he's done it by being an amazing human being.
Yeah, he has. And what I always, I try to tell people, Andy, he looks like he could, really beat you up, and he probably could, but really deep inside, he's just a big old teddy bear. So don't be too threatened by him. But
amazing
he's awesome. So we're really excited to have him. Clint, I appreciate you so much. Like I said, it's probably not going to be the last time we have you on here. I love having conversations with you, but thank you, and I look forward to hearing about the next race.
Thank you, Colin. Thank you.